Hello guys, my name is Designate and it's time to continue our guide on the Dwarf Fortress basics. We are showing you just that, the basics, and if we go into game here, it's actually time to start digging out our fort. And how do we do that? Well, we can use D for Designate, and that's going to show up all of these various tools we have here. But what do they do? Well, let us turn to something here on the side so I can show you exactly how that works. I'm going to use this whiteboard. Now, do I really need a whiteboard to talk about Dwarf Fortress? Yeah, I think I do actually. Mining can be a little bit weird for some people, because it's not really as, well, it's kind of straightforward, but it does require a little bit of thinking though, and also a little bit of know-how exactly how the designation tool works. So let's talk just about that now. Let me just go ahead and find a pen. Alright, so what kind of different versions of, or different kinds of tools do we have? Well, we have D. Can't even see this, I think. Maybe I should write it a little bit bigger. We have D, which is mine. Alright. We have U for up stairs. Okay. We also have I for up slash down stair. Okay, and we also have H for channel, H for channel, as well as J for down stair, and we have R for up ramps. Up ramp. Very lovely writing here, as you can see. Okay, so what does these all things do? Well, let's start at the top, shall we? D for mine. Okay, what does mine do? Well, let's say that we have... Let me see if I can make it a little bit better. What if we have... Let me just get this and remove this stuff in the top here. What if we were to have an area like this? This is the surface, where our guy is, right up here. And we have different kinds of Z levels or C levels right over here. So this is from the site, right? So all this are rocks, okay? All these are rocks and soil and stuff like that. Okay. And if we were to have a guy standing here, down in a cavern here, next to a wall, he stands right here. And I'm going to designate this wall here for mine with D. D for mine. What would that do? Well, that would just dig out this block. If we dig out this block and leaving the ceiling, or the roof or the ceiling, leaving the floor and just digging that out and extending this cavern up to here. If I were to designate all of these with mining and I mined it out, I would create a long tunnel like this. Alright? So the D for mining is just basically the tool that you will use in order to dig out your tunnels, your rooms, your reservoirs, your trap rooms, whatever it is, whatever you want to mine. So that is the D mine tool. It's going to be usually the one that you use the most, depending on how you design your fort. Alright, that's pretty straightforward, right? Okay. Well, let's get into something a little bit weirder. And actually, we're gonna skip down to channel first. We'll take channel first, and then we're gonna do up ramp as well. So, this guy up here, let me just go ahead and erase this lonely guy in the caverns. So, what if we want to go down then? We are standing up here, we have the sun here, and we want to go down, and we're gonna mine downwards into the rock here. So what does this guy do? Well, we can use the channel tool. The channel tool here. And channel tool works by you designate an area. Let's say I designate this area. Let's say I need to hold this pen up or it will run out of ink. What if I designate this area to be a channel down? Okay, what will this do? Well, what will happen when he digs down here, it's going to remove the block directly underneath. It's going to remove this block right underneath. And also, it's going to create a ramp, like so. So what happened was, I dug this block out and I replaced it with a ramp instead. So now this guy can walk down this ramp, he can stand here, and now I can perhaps use the mine tool here to mine this stuff out. And then I could keep digging out a tunnel here, there, and now I am below ground, so you can see. Alright, so that's the channel tool. Channel down, and then I mine into here. Okay? Let's go ahead and put this back again into our normal fashion here, or the starting situation here. It's just like going back to school, guys. Don't you just love it? Not really, maybe. Okay, but what if we have a guy standing down here in a room here? We have a guy standing here in this room, and he wants to go up. Okay, what we can use the up ramp. Now, what does the up ramp do? Well, up ramp is basically opposite to channel. So it also works on the same level as the same way as channel works. You designate it on the same level where your guy is standing. So if I were to designate this block here with channel up, it would, just as channel did, it's going to erase the block above it instead of below it, like channel did. It's going to erase the block above it, removing the ceiling. It's going to create a room above it, or an open space above it, and also it's going to clear out this wall here and create a ramp. Okay, so now this guy can walk up this ramp and he can stand here, and now I can use the mine tool again, and I can go ahead and mine these blocks out, and then that will allow us to go forward here if we wanted to. Alright, so I dug here, I used a up ramp here, boop, going up, making the ramp, erasing this area above him, and I'm now able to use my mine tool here to keep mining this way. Alright, pretty straightforward. But what if I want to go down here, but I want to go down more levels than just one, because ramps and channels only works one sea level down or up. You can't have ramps like this. You can't have ramps sitting on top of ramps unless you build them. But that's a whole other that's a whole other thing. If I were to channel down here while this ramp is still here, this ramp will get erased. That ramp will get erased. So now I can't get up here anymore. So what if we write this all up again? We add this stuff again. Alright, let's see if I can maybe... Okay, so he stands here in his room again. Now, what if I wanted to go from here? This guy wants to go down, maybe down here. How do you do that? Well, we can use the downstairs tool. Downstairs, if I were to put it here, if I designate a downstairs here, he's going to dig down, pretty much like the channel, but it's going to go half a block down. Not really. It's not exactly going to go down. It's not like the game. It's not like the game is going to allow you to go down half a block into this block, you know. But what it's going to do is it's going to create a downstairs, half a downstairs, which gives you access to the block below it. This one below it. And why is this? Well, it's kind of hard to imagine until you have done it a few times, but what you could think of it is, if you dig a downstairs, it's going to create half a stair. Alright? So, how do we finish this up and down, this downstairs? Well, we could use an upstairs and dig it here. Oops, and dig it here on the level below this the downstairs, and that would create a second stair here leading upwards, and that would in turn connect these two stairs. Alright, so now we have a complete up and down stairwell leading here. So you can think of this as the downstairs is one half of a stair, and the same thing as the upstairs is also one half of a stair, because it gives you access to the lower or the sea level higher than or above you. So you know that's basically how you can think about it. Just one like one half of a stair, you know. Okay, so now we're standing here. Well, how can I do now? I mean, I want to keep going down. Well, what we could have done instead of digging, instead of digging, because you know, remember these are half a stair each. What we could have done instead of digging upstairs here, we could have used this tool, the up and down stairs. Alright, but what does that do? Well, up and down stairs is basically the downstairs and the upstairs combined. Okay, so it will create, just like the upstairs, the up and down stair will create a stair here that will connect our new stair with the old one, and also it's going to add another downstairs leading down here to this sea level. And this looks really weird, and it's really crooked actually. Let me see if I can maybe clean this up a little bit so you can see better. You know, this looks very dirty. Very, very dirty. Okay. There, so we had the stairs going down here. This was our original stair. And now with the downstairs, with up and downstairs, it also created another downstairs below it into half a block there. Okay, and now we can decide, do we want to dig another upstairs here and stop on this level, or do we want to keep going and use another up and down stairs? If we designate another up and down stairs below this, it's going to allow us to keep going down into the next one. Okay, so that's how up and down stairs works. And I'm going to show you this in game as well, but it kind of gives you an idea how to do these things. I know it can be kind of convoluted, and you might feel like, what the hell? Why do I even need a freaking whiteboard to even talk about this? But it's kind of. I think this is my way of showing it. I might, if I can find a picture, I'm going to link you to a good image of this. Someone who actually can draw actually made some images showing this off. And if I can find the link, I'm gonna link it to you down below. I can't remember the name of the guy who did it. But anyway, screw that. Yeah, so that's good. We're gonna leave our minus here. Let's go into. Oh yeah, you can also use sed. You can also use sed to remove ramp and stairs. That's very lovely handwriting here. But basically, the C tool is basically just going to erase these stairs if we want to, or we can erase or dig away ramps or stairs. Not constructed ramps and stairs though, mind you. Only the dug out ones. But alright, let's get into game a little bit. Oh shit. Maybe we could actually get some gameplay in today as well. That'd be nice and not just sitting and watching a freaking whiteboard. So let's see here. Let me just move this stuff out of the way. Alright, let's talk about camera movement now. So, as you saw there on the whiteboard, we are playing with a lot of sea levels. We have ups and downs, right? And we can see that on the right side here, you can see that currently we are on level 0, right up here. And this is sky. These are the open skies above us. This highlighted zone right here is where we are right now, and this is dirt beneath us, or ground, or soil, whatever it is below us. And then below that, we have a number 127. And if I go down now, this number will decrease. Okay. So let's press tab first to get rid of this stuff. So escape and tab. There we go. You can also press tab multiple times. Tab. Okay. So we want to go up and down. Well, how do we do that? Well, make sure you have turned off your numpad key or your numpad lock. Numpad lock is supposed to be off, or num lock is supposed to be off. And if you hold basically, first, if you use the numpad 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9, you can move around like this, alright? So I'm moving around here using the numpad, every key except 5. And if I hold shift and press numpad 5, it's going to move me up 1 level. Another click, another level, another click, another level, another click, another level, so on and so forth. Okay. To go down, I hold Control and I press 5. Numpad 5. Control, numpad 5. And now I go down. Okay, so Shift 5 to go up. Control 5 to go down. Okay. And let's also quickly talk about the cursor while we're at it. You can use the mouse in game to look at things. So I can use it over here. Now I can look, I see down here, I see that, oh, this is a trunk pillar, okay. This is a brook top, which there's a brook right beneath this snow. You can see this light grass, dark grass, stone floor, dark grass. But also, this isn't as accurate as if you would use K. Now K gives you this marker here, as you can see. And if you move this around, you can look at things. And now if I look at this trunk over here, not only does it say trunk, but it's a willow trunk. Alright. Also, let me go ahead and move myself out of the way here. Also, it's not only does it say willow trunk, but it also says that this is currently inside. That's because I'm inside the tree right now. It's bright and it's above ground. If I move it here, if I move it here, Now it says that I'm outside, because I'm not inside the tree trunk anymore. It's light, and it's above ground. And I see there's a snow-covered, dense, downy grass, but then it disappears. I press tab, and now I can see it all. Snow-covered, downy grass. A pile of snow. Okay, I can move my mouse around here, my cursor around. Here we have some not grass. Here we have Ilral the Trader, a stray dog, a snow-covered brook, and a pile of snow. Cool. Press tab again to get this and escape. There. Okay, so now it's time to start setting things up, because we want to actually go down below ground and actually get some basic stuff done. So let's go ahead first and press I. And this is the zones tool. Zone tools works by, you can use enter, if you press anywhere, enter. Just make sure there's nothing dangerous below us. No. Press enter, and that's going to start painting a zone. As you can see here, it starts to paint the zone. I do about, you can see down here, you can see the how big this area is right now. So you move it down, and I'm gonna build 6 by 9, doesn't really matter. Enter. Now I have created our first activity zone. And what is an activity zone? Well, it's a zone for activity. So, for example, I could designate this to be a water source, if there was any water. Fishing, if there was any water, once again. I can gather things, I can pen and pasture, I can pond, I can turn into a pond. But we're gonna talk about this stuff later on. The only thing we're gonna worry about now is pressing N for pasture. Now, why are we doing this? Well, a pen/pasture is going to be an area where you can designate animals to stay in. So, yeah, it's just a pen, you know. So, the reason we do this is because we don't want our animals running around all over the place, accidentally attracting dangerous animals or such. So, now we're gonna press capital N, and this gives us the list up here of all our animals. We can use plus and minus to move up and down. Okay. Now we're gonna press enter on each and every one, and this will tell the dwarves, hey, we're gonna bring all our animals over here. It's going to create a job for them to bring the animals here. Once the animals are here, and as long as they don't get spooked, they're gonna stay here. So that's done. We can now press escape. There we go, that's done. Okay, the next thing we're gonna set up is the wood cutting. So press D for designate and chop down trees, T. And I'm gonna go ahead and chop down maybe 5 trees, something like that. Yeah, 5 trees sounds good enough. We're gonna use those to construct our first basic workshops and such. Cool, that's done. I'm gonna press escape again. And now we are going to do something a little bit tricky that might look a lot tricky, but it's not going to be tricky because I'm going to exactly explain to you what we're supposed to do. We are going to equip our soldier. Oh my god, what the hell, Nuke? It's the second episode. Why are we going into military? Well, this is because we want our soldier to start training from day 1. It's very important, at least according to me, to have at least one soldier who is good at defending your fort from various critters and enemies that may want to attack you early on. And yes, you cannot get attacked on day 1 if you are unlucky. There are dangerous beasts out there depending on what kind of biome you have started in. There are werebeasts out there if you have those on. So it's a good idea to have a fighter at day 1. Okay, so let's take a water and I will exactly explain to you what you should do. First thing we're gonna do, and just do exactly what I do. Press N, and this screen brings up the noble screens. And here we can see all the nobles and administrators currently in our fort. And look to future guides where I exactly describe this stuff. But now we're going to use our arrow keys to go to Military Commander. We're gonna press enter, and we're gonna go down to our soldier, or the guy that you have made a soldier, and press enter. Bloop. Now we have designated a Military Commander, and this is needed to have a military. You need someone to lead them. Okay. Press escape. Now we are going to press M for military. Okay. This also looks very confusing. This is where you manage your squads, their supplies, all this good stuff. But don't worry, we're gonna talk about it more in depth future on. The one thing we're gonna do now is press C to create a squad. We are going to go down to metal armor, press enter. And now we see that we have our first squad. This is a squad name, Escorted Boulders. And currently in this squad is Solon, our soldier, our military commander. And here are candidates. These are our other dwarves, but we don't need them right now. What we're gonna do now is we are going to press E for equip. Okay. And now we're gonna press right 2 times on our arrow keys. Click, click. Which moves us over here. Because here we have his uniform. This is a uniform that he will try to put on. So metal armor, metal leg wear, metal hand wear, metal footwear, whatever. Don't press anything, whatever you do. What we're going to do is, what you are going to press, I mean, is go to shield. Go down to shield, press capital M for material, capital M, press down on the arrow key to wood and press enter. Done. Okay. And now we can leave this. So press escape, press P once, P, and then we can press S for schedule. And this is where you can designate your soldiers to do certain things on various moments. You can set them to train, you can set them to be posted on guard, you can have them patrolling, whatever you want really. What we are gonna do is we're gonna press E for edit order. And now we're pressing plus once, and this tells us that 1 soldier minimum is going to train, or is needed to train. And we only have 1. So that's perfect. Now we press shift plus enter. And then we'll press C for copy orders. Oh shit, that's not, I pressed X. Never mind. Let me just fix this really quickly by going down. Let me fix this. I pressed X instead of P, so instead of C. That's my problem. Okay, there. Press C for copy orders. And then go down to the other one using the arrow keys. Press P. I need to fix it now. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Press C, and then go down and P. There we go. All the way down. So it says training 1 minimum on each and every one. And sorry for the mistakes here. This is live after all, so it is to be expected. Cool. So now we have train 1 on each and every one of these. You can see here. Perfect. And now we're gonna press escape. We are going to press escape once more. And now we are going to press S for squad. And here we have our squad, the Escorted Boulders. There's 1 guy in it. We're going to press A to pick them. And then we're going to press T, schedule, active / training. That's done. Cool. Press escape. The next step we're going to do before we can even dig into the ground is to press I once more. No, not I once more. We are going to press. Oh yeah, we're actually going to bring up the utilities on the Lazy New pack. We're gonna bring up utilities, and we're gonna start up Dwarf Therapist if you don't already have that on. What we're gonna do now. Here we have all of our current residents. So we can have Golden here. We see Ilral. He's currently our expedition leader there, as you can see up there at the top. We have Solon the soldier. And now we want people to start working. So something I always do when I start out the fort is I give everyone every kind of job there is. Every kind of job there is, except with some exceptions. The reason for this is because we need to get things done now. We don't really care so much about quality of the stuff they make. I just need things done because we want to go down below ground and get into safety, right? So let's go ahead and pick this guy. We're gonna hold control. We're gonna take every guy there is, and you may want to take the fisherman too. If you are playing on a map where you have no access to water right now because it's frozen over, you can pick the fisherman too. Okay, because he can't fish anyway. Okay, pick everyone except the soldier. So this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Everyone except the miner and the soldier, I mean. Not the miner, not the soldier. And then you press right click and assign all labors. Click. Done. Okay. Now we are going to press commit up here. Click. And then click anywhere. There. So now you can see that we have put all these boxes everywhere, and this means that all of these jobs are now available to these guys. This means that they can do this. If I click it again, this means they can't do it. And any changes needs to be committed as well. Just remember that. And the numbers shows you the skills they have in any certain job. So this is the person we gave doctoring to. So he has some stats here in doctoring. I also have the miner here, 5 mining, and I have 5 stone crafting and the fisherman. Okay, but we're gonna do some changes here. Obviously, we are going to remove doctor work for everyone except the doctor. The doctor is only is the only one who's supposed to do that because he's the only one who has skill in it. We would prefer to have someone with at least a little bit of knowledge to do any sort of hospital work. Next, we're going to remove fishing on everyone, because right now there's no fish anyway, because the water is frozen over. If you have access to water, you can go ahead and put on fishing on this guy and nothing else except hauling. And I'm gonna go to that really soon. But I don't have access to water, so there's no point in having this on for him. Next, we are going to go over to this stuff here. The mining, the wood cutting, and the animal and the hunting. Okay, so you notice here, if I press, this guy's the miner, right? If I press wood cutting, mining goes away. If I press hunting, mining also goes away. There's a reason behind that. The reason is that for mining, you need to be equipped with a pick. You need a pick to mine. And you can see here now that his current job here is actually pick up equipment. He's going to pick up his pick. This tells him that he's always supposed to wear or handle or wield whatever tool is appropriate to his job. The same thing with wood cutting. Wood cutting, you need an axe. An axe that can hold an edge. So no wooden training axes. Those won't work. If I go for hunting, I require either a bow or a crossbow, ammo, and a quiver. So this guy here, I'm gonna tell the miner, go all the way over here, right click here, toggle hauling, and press commit. Now the only job the miner has right now is to mine, and that's what we want, because we want him to mine, only mine, every day, mine, all the time. So we can get below ground. Don't worry about this, the feed patients and the recover wounded. Those things are good to have on in case of an emergency, because recovering wounded, well, kind of says what it does, recover a wounded person. Feeding patients and prisoners also pretty obvious what that does. Just feeding patients that require food or water. Okay, now we are going to remove hunting from everyone, because as you remember, in the startup, we don't have any hunters anyway. We don't have any access to that stuff anyway. Press commit again. And let's see, is there anything else I want to do now? Let me just think a bit. Ah, yes. We want someone to cut down trees. And I'm gonna give this to this person. I'm just giving a random peasant the wood cutting job. Commit that. So he can now commit stuff. He can now cut down trees. And you notice that when I did that, this equipment one turned into blue. And that's because you can see down at the bottom there, missing weapon of axe skill type. So when I gave him the wood cutting skill, he now requires an axe. If I remove this, it turns green again. And now he has all of his, you can see his clothes there. If this turns red, it means also he's missing something. For example, if he loses his pants, this might turn red, and you can see here what goes missing there. But we're gonna talk more about this in another guide. Okay, let's go for woodcutting one person, commit, and I think that's it. Ah yes, of course, our soldier. Our soldier is supposed to have no jobs at all, no hauling either. Actually, you can leave hauling on for now, but his only job is to fight or train. That's his only job. Alright, so we're done here. We can go ahead and close this down again. Now, something I can also show you really quickly is if I go down here, you can see I have a river here, or a brook. And this is only a brook, but if this was a river, our people would fall into the water once this defreezes. Because right now they want to hang around the wagon. That's their go-to place if you don't have a job. So what we can do, we can press I again for a zone. I can make a zone over here, enter, press enter to start painting, enter again to finish it up. I can press then M. And now this is a meeting area, which means that when they don't have a job, they will go to a meeting area and wait there. So now they're gonna wait there instead. Better for us. Okay, escape again. And now it's finally time to start digging. And we're gonna do some basic digging here. We're gonna press D for designate, J for downstairs. And I'm going to see there's nothing dangerous below us. Don't dig into water or something. And let's see, I'm gonna dig down here. 3 by 3. The reason I do a 3 by 3 is because I want to allow the dwarves to have a lot of space to move around. When another dwarf meets each other in a tunnel and there's no way to go to the sides, one of them needs to crawl down on the floor, the other guy walks over him, and then they can pass on. And that's going to slow people down. So by giving them 3 by 3, I give them more access. Okay, so if we remember the whiteboard here, or the whiteboard, the whiteboard. I have now designated. If I can find a pen, that is, I can find a red. I can take a red one. I have now. Oh, sorry guys. I have now designated a half a stair to be dug down. You see, I have now designated half a stair to be dug down. All right. So if I then go back to the game and putting the lid on this red marker so I don't get it all over the place. If I now go down a bit here, no, if I use Control and 5 to go down, and I want to keep going down, so I require the up and down stairs, right? So I press I do 3 by 3. I press enter to start painting. I'll go down, and then I press Control 5, 5. There we go. I want to go down to this level. This level is about is perfectly fine, I think. It is good to have some room between your starting area, or your starting rooms, and the above surface, because in the future it's going to give you a little bit more access to things. And below this now, we're going to go Control 5 again. We're going to press U for upward stairs. I'm going to type and write that there, or designate that there. So in the bottom now, we have the upstairs. In the middles, we have up and downstairs. In the top, we have downstairs. So I am starting to dig a tube straight down into the ground. Okay, but we're not done yet. Let's go back down there again using Control and number 5. When we arrive here, I want to dig 3 by 3 tunnels using mine. I want to mine straight through a few. Let's just a few bits like this. Actually, we can stop. We can stop here. Actually, that's good. And now I'm going to press... Oh, and right, if you wanna remove things, press X to remove designation. And now if I press enter and paint, it's going to remove things, alright? So D again for mine, dig in a little bit, and then I'm going to hold shift and press numpad 8 and move around. Now if you hold shift and move around, it's going to move the marker 10 tiles. So if you see down here now, if I designate here, it's currently 1 by 1. I hold shift, it's now 1 by 11. So I jumped 10 steps. So I'm going to jump 1 step there, enter. I'm gonna jump 2 steps here and 2 down, 1 down there. And I'm gonna dig a room like this. The reason why I'm digging just a room like this is because I want everything to go down below ground as soon as possible. Alright? I want to bring all of our goods down here, maybe set up some beds down here, just a basic hole in the ground, just for something to start off with, okay? And I think that's, guys, it's gonna be enough for this episode of the guide. And in the next one, we're finally gonna start the game. Yes. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot to this game, but I think it's actually good to go over it. And yeah, also do remember, you can always pop into my stream, link down below, if you have any questions about the game, and or anything else for that matter. You can follow me on Twitter. I always tweet before I stream. And yeah, I hope I see you in the next episode. So take it easy. I'll see you then. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.